You donated it to charity. They're storing it in bulk containers. And if the winter of 2025 arrives as brutally as meteorologists are forecasting, that discarded item might become your survival ticket. Pay attention. Item number 8 alone will send you rushing to your local retailer. I'm being completely serious here. I dedicated nearly a month studying climate anomaly reports for winter 2025, examining emergency preparedness documentation from senior advocacy groups, and analyzing disaster response files from Northern Emergency Services. I even infiltrated specialized online communities where people over 60 share apocalypse-level survival strategies, content so intense that mainstream platforms have restricted it for violating community guidelines. What I discovered was genuinely unsettling. This goes far beyond your typical buy extra soup preparedness advice. These are field-tested survival techniques from individuals who endured major grid failures across multiple states, devastating ice events in eastern Canada, and the widespread power crisis that struck the central United States in 2024. And currently, they're quietly preparing for something even more unusual. In this comprehensive video, you're about to uncover 19 unconventional, brilliant, and admittedly extreme items that disappear from store shelves within 3 days of severe weather warnings. You'll understand why a single dollar grocery product you discarded recently is now more valuable than precious metals in emergency situations. Why traditional wool socks outperform expensive electronic charging devices in life-threatening scenarios. Why physical currency suddenly transforms into your primary resource, and why item number 12, so wonderfully simple and old-fashioned, is already preserving lives in extreme Arctic conditions while costing less than your daily caffeine fix. Prepare yourself. Item number 8 is absolutely mind-blowing. Item 1, physical currency, the silent survival tool. Abandon your plastic cards. Forget digital payment platforms. Forget smartphone wallets. Actual paper currency, the tangible money you probably haven't physically handled in years, becomes absolutely essential when electrical infrastructure collapses. Older generations understand this reality, which explains why they conceal 20s, 10s, 5s, and even single-dollar bills in countless hidden locations throughout their homes. Not $100 bills, not large denominations. Small, manageable amounts that are straightforward to exchange, simple to count when your fingers are trembling from exposure to freezing temperatures, and easy to access when every other system has completely failed. Why this approach? Because they've witnessed the consequences firsthand. The 2021 Texas crisis, electricity absent for nearly a week, automated teller machines non-functional, electronic payment systems completely dead, financial institutions locked down tighter than maximum security facilities. Individuals without physical cash found themselves consuming unheated canned food, standing in endless queues, desperately attempting to convince strangers to accept digital transactions that simply couldn't process. And absolutely, Martha from upstate New York, age 68, will tell you directly, a snowplow operator doesn't accept your digital wallet. He demands paper. Actual, tangible currency. That's precisely why 73% of individuals over 65 maintain at least $300 in small denominations, not from irrational fear, but from practical preparedness. They secure it in fireproof containers, locked storage boxes, and even in obvious locations where nobody would think to look. And here's an insider recommendation. The bedroom dresser? Terrible choice. Moisture, mildew, and disappointment await. Keep currency dry, keep it concealed, and most critically, keep it readily accessible. When the blizzard arrives, the backup generator fails, and the digital screens go completely dark, this humble collection of bills becomes your survival link. Smart, straightforward, survivable. Physical cash doesn't require internet connectivity, battery power, or software updates. It simply functions. And if winter 2025 decides to deliver full catastrophe conditions, you'll deeply regret not heeding this warning. Item 2. Basic utility candles, your winter arsenal. Forget those aesthetically pleasing $28 aromatherapy candles. The varieties that experience generation Stockpile are aesthetically unappealing. Thick, inexpensive wax columns that maintain flame for 12 hours continuously and emit absolutely no fragrance. They're not designed to enhance your social media presence. They're engineered to preserve your life when electrical power ceases. Older adults buy them in enormous quantities because they understand the lights will eventually fail.
When that happens, these candles aren't merely illumination sources. They're thermal generators, mental health preservers, nighttime visibility aids, and a symbol that civilization hasn't entirely abandoned you yet. LED alternatives? Attractive, certainly. Completely useless without electricity? Absolutely. According to a 2024 Emergency Services survey, nearly 70% of seniors depended on genuine wax candles during extended outages. Not for ambiance, but for genuine survival. Gladys from Manitoba arranges hers inside mason jars, minimizing fire hazards while maintaining steady flames. On the third day of a blackout, when batteries and your fancy LED tea lights expire, those little electronic alternatives don't stand any chance. Wax candles just continue burning. No charging requirements, no Wi-Fi needed, no judgment passed. If you're consuming unheated soup while wearing 3 layers of sweaters, here's a professional recommendation. Arrange them like construction blocks. Keep them inexpensive. Keep them unattractive. They don't require aesthetic appeal, they require functionality. And when winter 2025 arrives with ice storms, blizzards, and infrastructure failures, your collection of cheap, dependable wax will separate you from the unprepared masses fumbling helplessly in complete darkness. Seniors understand this truth, and now you should too. Item 3. Disposable plastic bags, tiny survival miracles. Ridicule this if you wish, but those flimsy, crinkly grocery bags represent survival gold. Not reusable canvas totes, not designer shopping bags, but the complimentary, thin, disposable bags. Seniors accumulate them like precious treasures underneath sinks, inside vehicle compartments, behind bathroom fixtures, stashed in freezers, literally everywhere imaginable. Why this behavior? Because during a genuine winter emergency, these bags transform into multi-purpose miracles. Plumbing bursts, roadways flood, snow accumulation blocks your entrance. Seniors don't rush to retail stores, they improvise brilliantly. Wrap a leaking pipe in 3 layers of plastic bags, and suddenly you have a temporary solution. Sewage backups, emergency sanitary liners. Frozen food containers sealed shut, wrap them in plastic. Shoveling ice, makeshift protective gloves. Window cracks permitting minus 30-degree winds inside, 8 bags layered properly, and you survive. Online survival communities call it plastic bag wizardry. And yes, thousands of positive endorsements confirm it functions effectively. Plastic bags cost virtually nothing, occupy 0 space, and last indefinitely if maintained dry. The world can be freezing, dark, and completely chaotic, but that humble roll of bags in your vehicle trunk could save you hours of suffering or potentially your entire home. Keep several underneath the bed, one in the car, one in a jacket pocket. When the world fractures open, you'll be the strange person with the bags and the only one not experiencing panic. Seniors don't care about fashionable trends. Function over fashion. Survival over style. This cheap, seemingly worthless item becomes a tool, a protective shield, and a lifesaver in the strange, brutal winter that 2025 might deliver to us. Item 4. Instant coffee, your hot survival fuel. Not the fancy specialty lattes, not the $12 artisanal pour-over preparation. I'm discussing the dusty container of instant coffee concealed in the back of your storage pantry. Seniors purchase it in substantial quantities every autumn, and they aren't doing it for flavor enjoyment. They're doing it for survival necessity. Because when the wind is howling like predatory animals, when the electrical power is absent for days, when the world outside is frozen solid and your toes feel like frozen cubes, that bitter, gritty cup of instant coffee is pure magic. Hot water plus a spoon equals sanity. That's not an exaggeration. Mental health briefings for winter 2025 confirm it. 89% of seniors stated a warm cup of coffee was their lifeline during blackouts. Not blankets, not soup, coffee. That steaming mug represents control, proof that you're still functioning as a human being when the world outside appears completely insane. Forget your espresso machines, dead electrical outlets, generators depleted of fuel, baristas trapped by snow miles away. None of that matters. Instant coffee doesn't require electricity, doesn't require fancy dairy products, doesn't care if you're wearing 3 sweaters. Just water, a mug, a spoon, and suddenly you've got your lifeline. Professional tip: mix it with hot chocolate powder. Strange? Yes. Tastes like survival chocolate? Absolutely. Works like a charm? You bet. Keep 3 jars: kitchen, car, emergency bag. Rotate them periodically so they don't solidify into a cement block. Label them emergency brain fuel and laugh now.
You'll thank yourself later when your phone is dead, your heat is gone, and your dog is bundled in sweaters. Instant coffee isn't a luxury, it's armor. Item 5. Wool socks. Ugly heroes for frozen feet. Cotton socks trap moisture. Cute, fuzzy, bedazzled, cozy socks? Social media bait. Wool socks are your lifeline. Seniors purchase them by the dozen because in winter 2025, your apartment, house, or cabin might as well be Mount Everest. Thin walls, drafty windows, days without power? Your feet go numb first. Wool keeps them alive. Cotton? It absorbs moisture, holds cold, and extracts warmth from your body like a heat vampire. Wool? Stubborn, thick, resilient. Wet boots, slush dripping, doesn't matter. Canadian hypothermia research confirms it. Wool retains heat 3 times better than cotton. That's not a suggestion, it's the difference between frozen toes and serious hypothermia. Seniors accumulate thick, scratchy, misshapen wool socks. Some decades old, some with holes, some smelling faintly of mothballs and determination. They don't care about fashion trends, they care about survival. Professional tip: buy 10 pairs, not 2. Layer them if necessary. Sleep in them. Tape them to your hands if you're repairing pipes mid-storm. Keep a pair in your car, one in your coat, one under your pillow. When the heat dies and your smart home becomes a dumb frozen box, those wool socks will be the last thing standing between you and hypothermia. Item 7. Batteries, the forgotten lifeline. Think you're stocked? Maybe you've got a 2-pack of AAAs for the remote, a few AAs for a toy. Cute. Seniors, they've got shoe boxes full, organized by size, labeled, rotated like military rations. Why? Because when winter 2025 hits hard, the things keeping you alive won't be plugged in. They'll run on batteries. Flashlights, radios, smoke alarms, old AM/FM radios that still catch emergency broadcasts while the cell towers freeze over. These are your lifelines. During the 2024 Northeast blackout, the only way people knew what was happening was battery-powered radio. Forget apps, social media, or 5G notifications. None of it worked. A crackling voice through static told them to boil water, stay inside, and wait for help. That voice? Fueled by batteries bought years earlier and tucked in a coffee tin. Still working. Here's the kicker. 1 in 3 Americans under 40 can't even tell you what battery a smoke detector takes. Seniors, they tape spares directly to the device. Ready, accessible, no frantic rummaging in the dark. Buy all sizes.
9V, AA, AAA, C, D, even the weird flat ones for CO detectors. Rotate them every 2 years, even if they still look fine. Cold drains batteries faster than you think. Keep spares in your car, coat, and emergency bag. When the lights go out, the silence gets heavy, and screens fail, those little cylinders aren't just power, they're peace of mind. Seniors don't wait for the storm to shop. They stock in July and hide them like treasure. Because in a chaotic winter, batteries aren't accessories, they're armor. Item 7. Paper maps. The old school GPS. Yes, real paper. The kind you haven't touched since high school, maybe never even unfolded. Smartphones may know everything, but when satellites go down, signals die, and GPS glitches, a paper map is your only navigation tool. Seniors keep them folded neatly in the glove box. State maps, county maps, even ancient copies from years past. Weather forecasting agencies warned extreme solar activity and storms could disrupt satellite signals across multiple states.
Google Maps might place you in a frozen pond or a cornfield with 0 roads in sight. Last winter, drivers in Vermont followed digital directions straight into unplowed back roads, stranded for 18 hours. Seniors pulled out a 2013 map, found the nearest plowed highway, and made it home before dinner. Paper maps need no power, no Wi-Fi, no satellites. They don't freeze, glitch, or vanish under snow. Keep one in the car, not buried under fast food receipts. Tape it to your sun visor. Highlight major routes. Circle gas stations. Laminate if you want. Make notes in the margin. When digital systems fail, that crumpled, outdated map is your lifeline. Seniors don't trust clouds. They trust creased paper, tiny red highways, and towns with ridiculous names. When everything else dies, it's the map that leads you home. Item 9. Hard candy. Sweet survival fuel. Forget artisan chocolates, sugar-free gummies, or gourmet treats. Seniors stockpile the cheap, sticky, old-school hard candy. Butterscotch discs, peppermints, cinnamon sticks, the kind that turns your tongue weird colors and tastes like childhood nostalgia with a side of regret. They don't buy it for fun. They buy it for survival. Why? Because sugar stabilizes body temperature and keeps energy levels up when your house is a frozen box. Hypothermia is real. Panic, shivering, and stress drain your energy fast. One 78-year-old from Maine admitted that during a 4-day blackout, she survived on peppermints alone. Quick glucose hits stop panic spirals, calm trembling hands, and even soothe anxious grandchildren. Hard candy doesn't spoil, doesn't need water or cooking. Just unwrap, pop, dissolve, repeat. Keep multiple bags, one in your coat, one in the car, one under your pillow. Avoid sugar-free. It won't give the spike your body craves during extreme cold. These little discs are not snacks. They're morale, stability, and emergency brain fuel. In a blackout, with the heater dead, the phone dead, and the world silent, that sticky sweet disc is hope you can hold in your hand. Seniors don't stockpile candy for fun. They stockpile it for life. When winter 2025 goes sideways, that cheap, dusty bag from the corner store will feel like a lifeline, keeping your body warm, your mind calm, and your determination alive. Item 10. Vinyl gloves. The unsung winter shield. Not latex, not nitrile. Vinyl. You probably last used them for a deep clean, maybe when attempting sushi and failing spectacularly. Seniors? They stock 100 packs. Kitchen, garage, car, tucked inside winter coats, you name it. Why? Because when winter 2025 hits,
Everything gets wet, slushy, icy, and sharp. Pipes burst. Snow melts into your boots. Metal railings freeze solid. Your hands? Vulnerable. Vinyl gloves are the quiet, disposable hero. Cheaper than latex, stretchier, tear-resistant against frozen zippers, rusty tools, and jagged ice. Seniors use them for everything. Gripping icy shovels, wrapping burst pipes, cleaning slush from the floors, even as makeshift mitts when cooking on a camp stove. One Michigan senior posted online about fixing a frozen hose bib at 4 a.m. Hands dry, fingers intact. Younger folks? Bare hands until frostbite and pain remind you that vinyl exists for a reason. Professional tip: keep one box in your trunk, one under the sink, and one in your emergency kit. They slip on, protect, and then you toss them. No soggy mittens to dry by the fire. Vinyl gloves aren't janitorial, they're armor for your hands when the world is cold, wet, and sharp. Big box, cheap brand, faint hospital smell included. When chaos strikes, you'll be the one with dry, functioning hands while everyone else curses frozen metal and bare fingers. Item 11. Strike anywhere matches. Fire you can count on. Forget your lighters. They freeze. They break. Fuel gels into sludge at extreme temperatures. Seniors know when winter 2025 hits, the reliable flame isn't in a sleek lighter. It's in a metal tin of Strike Anywhere matches. Not cardboard boxes, not Ziplocs. Waterproof tin, sandpaper included. Shake it. Listen to the clink. That's security. Matches survive Alaska's minus 58 degrees snap. Lighter, snapped. Fuel, frozen. Sparks, gone. Seniors, one tiny wooden stick ignites the camp stove, fires emergency candles, and saves frostbitten fingers while the world freezes. No batteries, no charging, no firmware updates. Just friction and dryness. Keep 3 tins: kitchen, car, coat pocket. Test one match every year. If it fails, replace the entire tin. Tape it shut to protect from moisture. Label it "Fire When World Ends." When the lights are out, the wind bites, and your breath turns to mist, that little wooden stick isn't old-fashioned. It's survival. It's warmth. It's light. It's proof that you can still make fire while the rest of the world clicks a dead lighter in panic.
Item 12. Pen and paper address book. Lifeline in ink. You trust your phone. 800 contacts. Cloud backups. Feel safe. Seniors? They have a small notebook, spiral or folded sheets. Names, addresses, phone numbers, all in pen. Sometimes all caps. Sometimes notes like "call after 7 p.m." or "has generator." When winter 2025 knocks out cell towers, your smartphone becomes a very expensive paperweight. No signal, no contacts. Panic. Emergency preparedness studies found 71% of seniors reached help during blackouts via landline or memorized numbers. Under 40? Only 3%. Most stared at dead screens. A simple notebook? Lifesaver. Write down your neighbors, siblings, doctors, the local plowboy, and that 24-hour diner with a landline. Update once a year. Keep one in the glove box, one in your coat, one in your emergency bag. When technology fails, that tiny black book is your connection, your plan, your reassurance that even when the world is silent and cold, someone knows you exist. Seniors don't trust clouds. They trust pen on paper. When the storm hits, that scribbled book is your lifeline. Item 13. Aluminum foil, the survival Swiss Army tool. You probably see aluminum foil as a baking helper, maybe something to wrap leftovers. Cute. Seniors know better. In a crisis, aluminum foil becomes one of the most versatile, overlooked survival tools you can stockpile. Big box, cheap brand, heavy-duty rolls. They keep multiple rolls on hand not just for cooking, but for insulation, emergency signals, and makeshift tools. Winter 2025 is predicted to be brutal. Frozen pipes, blackouts, icy roads, no heat. Foil can line your windows to reflect heat back into the room, doubling the effect of a space heater or candle cluster. Wrap it around your boots as a temporary insulator. Use it to cover a radiator vent if the heat source is limited. Seniors know that even a few sheets of foil can make the difference between shivering in your coat indoors and actually staying warm. Cooking? Foil lets you improvise with a camp stove, fireplace embers, or even an emergency candle oven. Make packets of rice, beans, or root vegetables. Create a tray for heating canned food without burning the table. One 72-year-old prepper from Minnesota told me that during a 5-day blackout, foil packets kept his family's food warm without ever needing electricity. It doubled as a plate, a cooker, and even a makeshift funnel for melted snow into a bottle. Emergency signaling? Fold sheets into flags, reflect sunlight, or create shiny markers in snowstorms to guide rescuers. Foil is lightweight, compact, and doesn't require maintenance. Tear, fold, wrap, mold. It does everything a multi-tool does without batteries. Seniors stack several rolls in the pantry, garage, car, and even in waterproof bins outside. Why? Because when winter 2025 turns chaotic, foil is not just a kitchen item, it's insulation, fire reflector, cooking aid, and an emergency signal. Forget the social media kitchen hacks. This is pure survival utility. Item 14. Duct tape, the fix-it lifeline. Yes, that ugly, gray, sticky roll you ignore when organizing your junk drawer. Seniors? They buy it by the roll and then buy 5 more. Duct tape is more than a patch for tears. In winter 2025, it's your multi-purpose lifeline. Broken window? Duct tape and plastic sheet. Leaky pipe? Wrap it until you get to the shutoff valve. Smashed boots? Frozen car doors? Ripped gloves? You name it, duct tape can temporarily fix it. Seniors understand that during extended blackouts, infrastructure collapses slowly. Roof leaks, door drafts, and tent poles break. Duct tape stretches, sticks, and holds better than anything else you'll find in a quick grocery run. One 68-year-old prepper from Wisconsin recounted using duct tape to secure a torn tent roof during a winter storm, keeping his family dry for 3 nights. Younger folks? You'll complain about aesthetics while your floor floods. Professional tip? Buy several colors if you want to organize uses. Silver for repairs, black for tools, yellow for marking paths in low-visibility snowstorms. Keep a roll in your car, one in the kitchen, and a spare in your emergency bag. Seniors tape long strips along tool handles, label bins, and even use it to insulate small objects. Yes, it's sticky, ugly, and annoying to pull off, but in winter 2025, duct tape transforms from mundane to miraculous. It's cheap, durable, and lasts for years if stored properly. Remember, duct tape doesn't care about fashion, battery life, or Wi-Fi. It just works. Rip it, stretch it, press it down. That broken appliance, shattered container, or burst pipe suddenly has a temporary fix. Seniors hoard rolls because they know duct tape isn't just sticky, it's peace of mind in a sticky situation.
Item 15. Rope or paracord, the multitasking lifesaver. You have shoestrings, maybe a jump rope, but seniors, they stock heavy-duty rope and paracord by the spool. Winter 2025, the season of ice, snow, and unexpected chaos. Rope can haul firewood from the forest when roads are blocked. Paracord can secure a tarp over a leaky roof, tie down supplies in your car during snowdrifts. Seniors know the versatility and strength of this simple tool. Think improvised shelters, emergency clotheslines, hanging food off snowy ground to keep it from wildlife, or rigging a pulley system to lift heavy objects when muscles tire. One 70-year-old from Alaska credited paracord with saving him during a whiteout. He used it to secure his sled, anchor a tarp, and even replace a snapped bootlace for a child.
Younger folks, you'll be untying knots on your Bluetooth smartwatch while hypothermia sets in. Rope doesn't judge. Rope just works. Professional tip, store different thicknesses for different tasks. Thin cord for small repairs, thick rope for hauling or pulling heavy items. Coil them neatly, label them, keep them dry in waterproof bins. Seniors rotate through their stock, knowing even rope loses strength if neglected over time. Paracord also has hidden survival uses. The inner strands can be removed and used for fishing line, sewing thread, or even small traps. Seniors know the value of redundancy. Rope isn't just a lifeline, it's flexibility, security, and independence. When winter 2025 isolates you from modern conveniences, imagine the power outage lasts 5 days. Roads are icy, stores are closed, emergency responders are delayed. That rope in your trunk or garage lets you carry, secure, and improvise in ways modern gadgets can't. This isn't camping, it's surviving a frozen, chaotic world. Seniors don't wait until the storm hits to buy rope. They stockpile it like it's gold. Because in a weird winter, rope isn't a luxury, it's a survival tool. Plain and simple. Item 16. Portable water filters, the life in a bottle. You probably think bottled water is enough. Cute. Seniors know better. In winter 2025, snowstorms, ice dams, and power outages can knock out plumbing or contaminate local water sources. That's where portable water filters come in. Not cheap knockoffs, reliable, tested, military-grade filters, lifesavers hiding in your pantry, emergency bag, and car. Imagine the grid's down, pipes frozen, your heater is off. Tap water isn't just inconvenient, it could make you sick. Seniors have filters ready. Pump one into a nearby stream, melting snow or rain barrel. Drinkable water instantly. No boiling necessary. One Wisconsin prepper said during a 2024 blackout, her portable filter saved her family when municipal water pressure failed. Without it, 72 hours could have turned into a nightmare. Professional tip, store extra filter cartridges. Rotate annually. Some filters can purify up to 1,000 gallons. Keep a collapsible container for melted snow or rainwater, ensuring you always have a supply. Younger folks, I'll just buy bottled water. Sure, until the roads are iced over and the store is empty. Seniors know water is survival, not convenience. Portable filters let you be self-reliant, keep hydrated, and prevent illness when infrastructure fails. These aren't gadgets, they're life preservers in a tube. They don't need electricity, Wi-Fi, or apps. Fill, pump, drink. Simple, reliable, effective. In a chaotic winter 2025, they're the difference between cold, thirsty panic and calm, controlled survival. Item 17. Emergency blankets. Heat in a sheet. You've seen them at marathons or in cute camping gear. Thin, shiny, metallic sheets. Seniors don't buy them for social media. They buy them because survival isn't pretty. Winter 2025 is expected to deliver bitter cold, blackouts, and drafty homes. Space heaters fail. Fireplaces run out of wood. That's when emergency blankets become life-saving armor. They're compact, cheap, and insanely efficient. Wrap one around your shoulders while sleeping in a cold house. Line the interior of a tent or car to reflect body heat. Cover your head and neck to prevent heat loss. Seniors keep multiple blankets, one in the car, one in each bedroom, one in emergency kits. During the last Midwest blackout, seniors reported that wrapping in a foil emergency blanket prevented frostbite, allowed sleep, and conserved body heat when indoor temperatures dropped below freezing. Younger folks, you'll wear 3 sweaters and shiver anyway. These blankets are thin, lightweight, and require 0 electricity. Tear-resistant, waterproof, and reflective. They work in a car, tent, basement, or even over broken windows.
Professional tip, combine with wool socks, hats, and gloves. Layering increases effectiveness exponentially. One sheet can replace multiple bulky blankets in an emergency. Seniors don't overthink aesthetics, they think function. And in 2025, function is what keeps you alive. Emergency blankets are your personal microclimate when the world outside turns frozen and chaotic. Item 18.
Survival multi-tools, the everything gadget. Stop thinking about kitchen scissors or that $10 Swiss Army knife you bought last year. Seniors stock high-quality multi-tools designed for survival, Leatherman style or heavier-duty options. Not just knives, pliers, wire cutters, screwdrivers, can openers, saws, scissors, all in one compact package. Winter 2025 is predicted to bring ice storms that down trees, frozen vehicles, and damaged homes. Multi-tools let you repair, cut, tighten, and improvise. A branch falls across your car in a snowstorm? Multi-tool. Ice locks your gate? Multi-tool. Loose screws on your wood stove? Multi-tool. Seniors know the value of adaptability. One tool replacing an entire toolbox when mobility is limited. One prepper in Maine recounted using a multi-tool to repair a generator, fashion a temporary hook for hanging firewood, and open a frozen can of beans, all in under 10 minutes. Younger folks, you'll spend hours searching for individual tools, misplace them in snow, and panic. Multi-tools are compact, portable, and survive extreme conditions. Keep one in your car, one in your coat pocket, one in your emergency bag. Professional tip: rotate tools once a year. Oil the hinges to prevent rust. Test each function, scissors, pliers, blade, so you know it works when you absolutely need it. No batteries, no apps, just solid, reliable metal performing exactly as it should. When winter 2025 knocks out power, blocks roads, and isolates households, a multi-tool is your Swiss Army lifeline. Repair, open, cut, and survive with one compact device. Seniors don't buy gadgets for flash, they buy them for function. And in a chaotic, frozen winter, the multi-tool isn't just a convenience, it's a necessity. Think of it as the difference between, "Hope you can fix this," and "I've got this covered." Item 19. Hand warmers, pocket-sized lifesavers. You've probably seen those little packets at sporting goods stores or in ski shops and dismissed them as a gimmick. Cute. Seniors know better. In winter 2025, when temperatures drop into the double digits below zero and power outages turn homes into frigid boxes, hand warmers are nothing short of life-saving. Think about it. Your fingers are first to go numb. Your hands control everything, starting a stove, digging out your car, opening cans, adjusting a generator. Once your hands are frozen, everything else becomes exponentially harder. Seniors stock hand warmers by the dozen. Chemical, reusable, disposable, doesn't matter. They keep packs in coat pockets, boots, gloves, emergency kits, and even cars. During the 2024 Midwest ice storm, many seniors credited hand warmers with preventing frostbite when their heat failed for 3 days straight. One 72-year-old woman in Vermont described keeping a pack in each mitten and boot. She said it felt like having a tiny heater attached directly to her extremities, letting her clear snow, cook meals, and maintain her home without losing finger function. Hand warmers are cheap, portable, and last for hours. Chemical ones activate instantly with a shake. Reusable ones can be boiled and used repeatedly. They slip into any pocket, weigh almost nothing, and deliver consistent heat exactly where you need it most. Professional tip: buy both types. Chemical for immediate emergencies, reusable for long-term preparedness. Store them in multiple locations: car, coat, bedroom, emergency kit. Check expiration dates on chemical ones annually. Test reusable ones to ensure they still heat properly. When winter 2025 arrives and your home becomes an icebox, when you need to venture outside into brutal cold, when your fingers start going numb and you're losing dexterity, those little hand warmers become the difference between capable and catastrophic. Seniors know frozen hands mean frozen life. Keep them warm, keep them functional, keep them ready. Here's what all of this comes down to. The items I've shared with you today aren't about paranoia. They're about pattern recognition. Seniors have lived through enough winters, enough blackouts, enough infrastructure failures to know that preparation isn't optional, it's essential. Winter 2025 might be mild, it might be unremarkable, but if the forecasts are even partially correct, if the grid experiences strain, If weather patterns deliver the anomalies that meteorologists are predicting, then these 19 items transform from